Hey, what's up, it's iCkEdMeL, and I wanted to take a minute and talk with you guys about this Netflix premiere that came out, and it's trending on Twitter. Number one, controversial. It's about these young girls that joined this dance group, and they're on there twerking and yada yada yada, and specifically about this 11-year-old who's the main character. I tried to watch the movie. I couldn't make it past half of the movie. If you check out the premiere or the preview of this thing, like the little trailer of this, it might turn you off. And I took a couple of notes. I mean, because at first, I think within like the first 2-3 minutes that I got into this movie, it was weird because there's like this little girl. I think these kids are underage. I'm thinking they're kids acting, unless they're teenagers acting that look really young. They look like kids. There's this girl in the laundry room. She's like dancing. The main character, which is this Senegalese girl from Paris, I think that's how it said, the black girl, she walks in and she's looking at this girl and she's dancing, and then she's also looking at the girl's hair and how straight it is. So then after that, it cuts to a scene where she goes and she tries taking an actual iron to her hair to flatten it out. When I started seeing scenes like that, I was like, damn, this is kind of deep, because I was thinking of like, maybe this is what, you know, young girls go through, and it is what young girls go through, and dealing with society's pressures and the outside influences of society. Also, it's a little girl that there's no father in the home, which I thought was interesting, which is the case for a lot of people. No father in the home. Also, I guess in this thing, in the tradition of culture, the guy went and got married and he got another wife. So there's parts of the movie where she's at first asking, where's my dad? I want to see my dad. Or dad's supposed to bring this, dad's supposed to do that. And mother's like, he's coming, I'm just not sure when, I'm waiting for his call. So one day she's in the room. I guess she wasn't supposed to be in her room. I think she's in her mother's room. They start to walk in, so she hides under the bed. The mother walks in with the little girl's aunt. So it's like sisters talking, I believe. And the woman's telling the mother, the adults are talking, and she's like, you need to call people and tell them that your husband found another woman, he's getting married, and you need to do this so they don't criticize you. So she wants her to put on this act like she's happy for the guy, and she's happy that the guy's leaving and finding another woman, that she wishes them the best. So she starts making these calls. The little girl's listening because she didn't know that the father went and married another woman. Not only that, in between the calls, the mother hangs up on a person and she starts crying. Can you stop? Them phones are always listening to you, always recording. Please. So in between the calls, she starts crying, you know, because she's really hurt about the father leaving. The daughter hears this, she listens to this, she didn't know about this, so the daughter's hurt too. I think she's almost crying too. She calls the person back and she carries on a normal conversation and says that it was just the reception. The movie, from what I saw, it's about this girl that's stuck between culture, her family's traditions, and also trying to fit into society and school. And also you got to think about the fact that she knows the father left the mother. So maybe she doesn't feel pretty enough. Maybe she feels insecure. Maybe she feels like she needs to do what these other women are doing so that she gets picked by a man. Parts of the movie, you see her in the school. At first, she's getting teased. She's getting picked on for her hair, for what she has on her face, for what she's wearing. And she wants to fit in with these girls. A lot of that stuff I thought was pretty deep, because I could just imagine what it's like nowadays for these kids. It was the same, kind of the same stuff back in the day too, but I think it's more pressure now, especially with social media. I thought that was deep. The parts where the movie starts to go off, I mean, there's parts or her practicing dancing. Okay. You know, those parts where she's like looking over and wants to fit in and the girls are dancing. Okay, it's weird, but I'm like, okay, there's short clips. I get to the middle part, and I still have more to tell you, but I get to the part, it wasn't even half of the movie, it's less than half. I think it was like 30 minutes I got in. There was one part where the girls get into a fight because they went to this whole thing where all the girls were at a house, right? One of the girls' house. They're all sitting in the room, and this is just another aspect. It's a really almost a cautionary tale of what to be careful for, that parents really need to be aware of what's going on, because all these little girls are sitting in the room and they're on a laptop and they're going into one of these chat things where you know the rooms that it just brings you into a different room, you hit next and then the webcam pops up. So this guy pops up and they're like, oh my god, he's so cute, whatever. I guess they don't have the webcam on yet. They're talking to him, they're flirting with him. He doesn't know their age. And this is another cautionary thing for men or males, you know, be careful. So at one point the girl types, I've got big boobs, ha 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 ha. So the guy blushes. So they fix the camera on one girl and they turn on the cam and the guy realizes, oh, like, what the hell are you doing? You're really young. And in most cases that probably wouldn't happen. The guy would probably still continue the conversation, but that's what happened in the movie. And they get off, the girls get upset. The girl that got put on camera, she got upset that she was put on camera. They had a fight. So once this fight happens, the dance crew, dance clique, because there's like some competition, they need another person. So here comes into play the 11-year-old, the one that's the outcast trying to fit in. She's been practicing the moves already. So she's talking to her friend and she's like, I could fill in, I could dance. And she's like, oh, but you don't know the dance moves and there's no time to teach you. And I guess she goes, oh, well, I know the dance moves. And she starts showing her. So she starts doing this dancing stuff. I'm like, okay. Then the little girl drops down to the floor. I'm like, oh my God. Then at one point she starts humping the floor, like really like sexualizing this stuff. And that's where I cut it out. I was like, yo, this is like too much. It's kind of weird. Like I can see the message they're trying to get across, but at the same time, it seems just way over sexualized. You know, it seems very over sexualized. But then at the same time, you can make the argument, right? Because right now they're trying to cancel Netflix. They're trying to cancel this movie. I don't see that same energy for a lot of these clips and movies and all this stuff that's out there. I don't see that same energy for the website. I can't even mention the website. If you saw the video, I'll put the link down below. The website with children on there. You type in the name, it's the #1 search on Google. Why isn't there a cancel for that? Right? You know what I'm saying? So you can make all these different arguments why the cancel culture isn't going after these other things, but they're going after this Netflix film, which, by the way, the director, she tells her story on this, which I thought was really interesting. I'll put the link down below if you want to check out some of her story. But she said the video hit hard for her. It was a video, the movie was about her, she says.
I put my heart into this film because this is my story. I believe that cinema and art in general can change the world. We are able to see oppression of women in other cultures. But my question is, isn't the objectification of women's body that we often see in our Western culture not another kind of oppression? In my research, I saw that pre-teenagers are caught in a difficult transition. Their body is constantly changing. And at this age, especially when you are a girl, it can be complicated to find your place and deal with your body.
The notes that I wanted to mention as well, for as far as I got into the movie, which wasn't that far, the girl, she's facing all kinds of pressure. I mean, maybe the ladies can comment down below and speak to their experiences, but the little girl, when she's trying to fit in the clique, she's wearing like baggy clothes, kind of big clothes, and the girls tell her, oh, well, her ass is flat, it's not big enough, it's because of the clothes she's wearing, and they start teasing her. So then the little girl starts noticing adults and how the ladies, adults, are dressing. You know, I thought that was interesting. The other portion too is that these little girls, they're out on the street, and these older guys from a grade that's in a higher grade than them, like older kids, they approach them and they start kind of talking. The girls were very flirty, more so than the guys, because I guess they're older and the authoritative figure maybe, and just maybe they see them as cooler. They're really trying to hit on the guys, and the guys backed off on them. And one part that I thought was worth noting is that the little girls asked the one girl, the main character, how old are you? Kind of testing her to see what her answer was going to be. And she says 11. When she says 11, they go, no. So implying that you're supposed to lie to these guys about your age. So I thought there was so many aspects about this that were true. Maybe even the entire movie was really interesting. Just way too over sexualized. I thought like it was kind of weird to watch. It was disturbing. I had to cut it out. It didn't feel right. But you guys comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this. That mean the whole fatherless home thing really stuck out to me because at one point the father calls, and this is after the main character, the girl, finds out all the stuff about this guy. Not all the stuff, but most of the stuff that he already found another woman. He moved on. He calls and he's like, Amy, hello, I'm here, Amy. She just answers the phone and she's just there because the mother passes her the phone. He's like, Amy. She takes the phone, puts it out the window, and drops it. And I mean, there's just so many messages, so many. I thought it was interesting. I think the delivery of this film, I think it could have been better. You know, maybe they were going for the shock value. I could totally see a bunch of weirdos watching this for other purposes, like weird, you know what I'm saying? Like I could see them watching this, and they could really find that anywhere online. You can go anywhere online. Parents are posting this stuff on their own. So while it's disturbing to watch it and you want to shut down and cancel this video, you can go on YouTube and find these videos of these little dance competitions and these people twerking. The stuff that bothered me the most is that in the film, when there was dancing parts, like the last part that I saw where the little girl dropped on the floor and started like humping the floor, not only are they showing that, but then they zoom in. Like they zoom in because they know, okay, these, I don't know, maybe the weirdos are going to want to watch that. I thought that was weird. Like you're zooming into these body parts. Why? You know, so it was just too much. I wanted to watch it entirely to give an actual perspective of the movie instead of just reading a headline of a news article. But I tried, man. I made it maybe 30 minutes in there. You guys comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great day and peace. There was actually one more part I forgot to mention. This was right before the part where I stopped watching. Okay, there's two parts. There's one part where the main character, the girl, she's up late at night. She's on her cell phone. Okay, there's so many messages to this movie, which I thought were important. And she's watching these dance videos of these girls twerking, wearing very short, scantilanty stuff, and she's smiling. You know, it's putting an impression on her. The other thing, the little clique, they're watching music videos, and there's one part where the girl that's in the video, they're watching a video on a phone. In the video on the phone, they look young, like the young girls dancing. Hopefully they're 18 plus. Right at the end of the thing, the little girl, I mean, I guess she's a teenager, I don't know, lifts up her shirt and you see a nipple, like a titty. And I'm like, what? I thought that was weird. So, I mean, I almost thought back a little bit too, and I think the movie Kids is more extreme, maybe. I mean, the Kids was definitely a sexualized movie. That's a classic almost, I think. It's a weird movie. It's a classic and it's a learner. And I almost wonder if the director was kind of going for something like that. But for all the cancel culture and pressure, and supposedly this director is getting death threats, you can find all these other videos on all these other places online. I don't see the same energy. Maybe it's because it's a Netflix thing and it's being pushed and promoted. But comment your thoughts down below on that. Should the film be canceled? Peace.